Welcome to 100 Yards of Football today. It's our NFL Draft Prospect Special. The young man out of the University of North Carolina, cornerback. I love this name, Storm Duck. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm your host, Mr. Football, Vincent Turner. Joining me as always as we breaking down all these outstanding players at the cornerback position for the 2022 NFL Draft is my man. Let me get it corrected as always. I want everybody to understand this. He played 12 years in the National Football League. That's not happening on any level right now. A lot of people ain't playing 12 years. Number two, you think about the great program down there in Tallahassee, the Florida State Seminoles. And you think about when they came to ascending in the late 70s. At that time, I was a freshman at the University of Arkansas from 78 to 81. And I saw this with my own eyes. As a sophomore, me and the guys used to get around and buy pizza at the Pizza Hut. And back in the day, we was used to drink, excuse my language, that Pets Blue Ribbon beer. And we watched this game in 79 that had LSU playing an upcoming star program, Florida State. And at the time, everybody was saying, is Florida State for real? Are they that good? They had a 2-quarterback system, but they had a nose guard that went on and became an outstanding wrestler on the professional ranks, Ron Simmons. But there was one gentleman that stuck out that game. Everybody was talking about this defensive back from Delray Beach, Florida. And me being a country boy from Tennessee, I don't know nothing about Florida. I grew up watching Eric Harris, Keith Simpson, Carlton people, so I didn't know nothing about Florida. But after that football game, when Florida State beat LSU on national television, game of the day, I found out who was number 21. His name was, let me say this, Mr. Bobby Butler. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. He's on with me today to break down Mr. Storm Duck, cornerback out of the University of North Carolina. How you doing, Mr. Butler?
Man, I'm doing great, Vincent. Always a pleasure to do these podcasts with you, man. I'm excited. I get fired up.
Yes, sir. Well, we do it one way. One thing I said in doing this, I've been following the draft now really for the last, really since the 90s. And one thing, watching the draft, the one thing I like the stories. Mm-hmm. I like the adversity a lot of these athletes are able to overcome because let's be real. A lot of them are not going to have the Tom Brady, the Peyton Manning, the Ben Roethlisberger type of lives going into the league or the Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. These players are coming into this league. This is a situation where they're looking to set their families, generations,
absolutely,
and putting a lot of hard work and effort into it. I'm not going to go there today because we was talking pre-show about Brian Floyd, so we're not going to get into all that today, but you know where I'm coming from. But Mr. Duck, what you like about him?
Well, Vincent, you hit it right on the head in the beginning. With a name like that, that's a football name, Storm Duck. I can hear the announcers calling that name over and over again. Storm Duck, just broke up a pass. Storm Duck on the tackle, right? Well, listen, man, this guy's an outstanding player. He's a little bit over 6 feet, 205 pounds. A few of the things I look at right away when I'm looking at a cornerback play, Vincent, and y'all heard me talk for a while. Y'all know when I see a guy up and close in person, y'all know what I want to see. I don't want to see no guy bailing. I want to see a guy putting hands on receivers. He's got an effective jam at the line of scrimmage. And see, when you're bumping at the line of scrimmage, you don't have to maul a guy. You just need enough to throw the timing of the quarterback and the receiver off. And so I like it. He's got an effective jam. He got effective hands at the line of scrimmage, right? He takes accurate angles to the ball carriers when he's tackling. Now, we're talking about the corner, so I want y'all to hear me talk. Not only does he take great angles at the runner, he's a very aggressive tackler, and he does not back down in the run game. See, a lot of corners don't want to do all that physical work. He's willing to do what it takes, right? He gives his body up, Vincent. He laid on the line. He put it out there every time. And he's got this rare hand-eye coordination and agility. I mean, he can even make a living back there in the doggone return game. I mean, this dude is special, right? He's got good awareness. He's got quick feet. He's fluid in his back pedal. He got great ball skills, right? When I see a guy with great ball skills, I always want to go back and see what they did in high school. A lot of these guys were receivers in high schools, right? But he got great ball skill. And this is what I like. He closes to the ball well and possesses the hand to snatch the ball out the air. Now, when I say snatch the ball out the air, I don't mean let the ball come to him. I mean, put his hands out, thumbs in, and go get it. And can catch that ball with his hands, right? Which can keep the ball away from the offensive player. I love that about him. But one of the things about him, just like every football player, he had some major injuries, right? But I remember in an interview where his head coach was talking, and the head coach had tears in his eyes. The defensive coordinator came up and was talking about this young man. They had tears in their eyes, talking about how hard he worked and how most guys, they seniors that this close, they may opt out. But he did everything he had to do to help his team. He came back. He was a shutdown corner before his injury. He came back quite well. And this is what I love. Because the cornerback coach at UNC, if y'all don't know him, his name is Dre Bly. He was an all-world cornerback out of North Carolina some years ago. He was an all-pro cornerback in the National Football League some years ago. And the thing I like about Dre Bly, you know, I knew he was I didn't know him personally, but I knew he had a bad 40 time. He wasn't the fastest guy, you know, in the draft, Vincent. He didn't possess speed, but you couldn't shake him. He was a great cover man. He was an all-pro in the NFL. And this is what his coach, Dre Bly, had to say about him. I love this. He said that Duck is the guy who can take away a whole side of the field, not because of his skill level, but because of where he is mentally and the knowledge that he had gained being the starter his first year. Now, I want y'all to hear that now, because here's where we separate the good from the great. So what made Deion Sanders so great? A lot of people think he was the fastest guy on the field. He can run the football. He can do that. No. I beg to differ. What separated Deion was his knowledge of the game. The time he spent in the classroom with an old vet like me watching tape. And he loved it. See, for me, it's not a surprise that he's a head football coach, because Deion loved the film room. And what his coach Dre Bly said about Storm Duck, he loved the film room. He loved classroom, his knowledge. Bro, I'm telling y'all right now, I hope y'all get this, right? It ain't just about skills in the game. It's about where you are up here. So listen, man, I love this guy. I can't say enough about him. I'm looking forward to his future in the NFL, right? And so Vincent, he's going to be a big-time player on the next level because he understands how to take care of his business.
You know what, Mr. Butler, when you first think about North Carolina from an athletic standpoint, you always want to think about Tar Heel basketball.
That's right.
But you never think about the football program and all the great players that came out of there that's played at a tremendous high level.
Yes, sir.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Dan McCauley.
Yes, sir.
Charlie Choo Choo Justice. Greg Ellis.
Yes, sir.
William Fuller.
Yes, sir.
Marcus Jones. The legend Buddy Curry.
Buddy Curry.
Brian Simmons.
That's right.
Mitch Trubisky, Akeem Nicks, and Dre Bly.
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good list of football players that's went on and played at a high level in the National Football League.
Yes, sir.
But what I like about Mr. Duck, he's an aggressive tackler.
Yes, sir.
57 tackles in the games he's played. True enough, he's had a lot of injuries, but he's aggressive.
Right.
A tackler. Then he's played 370 coverage snaps in his career.
That's right.
But what I love about him, the skill set, and I'm gonna take you back. He got a little bit of Tim McIver in him. You should know about him.
I know about him.
He got a little bit of Don Griffin from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
His nephew, Deshaun Townsend. No, excuse me. Fernando Bryant is his nephew, Mr. Don Griffin.
Right.
Then my homeboy, who played at Tennessee for 4 years, started too, Carlton Peoples, was an aggressive tackler and a good cover man.
Sir.
Then a football player, man, Bobby, he played during your time. Every time I looked up, the guy was making plays. He one of the best corners I ever seen play that Roll Tide, Mr. Jeremiah Castillo. Then, of course, the man from San Fernando Valley, who's a hell of an aggressive tackler.
Yes, sir.
First year with the 49ers.
Yes, sir.
My man from San Fernando, Mr. Ronnie Lott. Then I have to give the dog some love today.
That's right.
Even though he wasn't African-American.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott Warner was a hell of a cornerback at the University of Georgia, brother.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And then finally, Mr. Duck got that thing. He got that smoke. He got that railroad.
Yes, sir.
He got, back in the day, the roof was on fire. Let that mud burn. You know the words I'm trying to say, like my man from Delray Beach, Bobby Butler. I like this young man as a football player.
Yes,
Mr. Storm Duck.
Yeah.
Final words about Mr. Duck, Mr. Butler.
Well, he's a consummate pro already with the way he approaches the game, Vincent. And so he's going to be a great addition to some club. He's probably going to go second to third round. He'll be a first 3-round player. He's considered the top 10 cornerbacks in the nation. I can't wait to see him on the next level. He's going to be an exciting player. And here's the thing about a guy like him, Vincent. I want y'all to understand, because Vincent always, when he introduced me, he talked about my 12-year career. You know what got me a 12-year career? It was the film room. And this guy has already got that working for him. He loves studying film. He loves the game so much. He's going to have a long career in the National Football League, barring any injuries. So, hey, I look forward to seeing Storm play on the next level.
And my final words about Storm Duck, cornerback out of North Carolina. Young man fought a lot of injuries, but he was able to come back and play at a high level.
Yeah.
It's like my boys from Motown. It was the 3rd of September. That's the day I always remember. Yes, I will. Because that was the day that my daddy died. Storm Duck, with all his injuries, y'all think he might have died. But when he get to the next level, it's going to be the 3rd of September. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Storm Duck going to be rolling. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. It's surely been appreciative here at 100 Yards Football. Special thanks to our producer, Mr. Logan Anders. And of course, I'm in heaven. I'm living the life. Having a guy that played 12 years in the National Football League, that played the position at a high level, changed the fortunes at Florida State University, and put that school where it's as a football program. I'm very blessed. And you look at all these other outlets out there like NFL Total Assets. Now I see them having a cornerback as their main guy. I'm not going to call his name. His initials DA, but it's not like what I got in Mr. Butler. Then I'm looking at ESPN. I'm seeing somebody like RC. And you ain't on no level as this brother here from Delray Beach. What I'm saying, I love what I got. I put him up against anybody. breaking down the cornerback position for the 2022 NFL draft because he played it at a high level. And he changed the state of Florida State football. And don't y'all forget it. And again, thanks to our producer, Mr. Logan Landers. Y'all be blessed. We'll be back next week with an outstanding cornerback in the 22 NFL draft. Thank you. Have a blessed day.